That thing's huge. Yeah, Froggy, Froggy. Froggy, Froggy. Froggy, Froggy. Oh, he's peeing on me. Hi, Froggy, Froggy. Hey, this is Brett here, Mountain Bike More, and today I want to share with you my first night ride of the year. Oh, can you not see? So, on this night ride, I kind of reflect back on some of the things I've learned over the years, from trial and error and some of the mistakes I've made and some of the things where I got lucky about my lights. So today I take my 750 lumen SIGO light on my helmet mount, and I take my Vaunt 300 lumen light with a handlebar mount out to ride. Share some of my thoughts, and I hope it helps you. Hit the like, hit subscribe, and ride more. Alright, here we go. Testing our lights. This is the first time I've used this light on the handlebar. It's 300 lumens, super light, so I think it's a good backup light that I'll use in the future. But from this ride, I'm just on a fire road right now, and I have very little visibility. I can see, but I know what a 700 and a 750 lumen light will look like. So I'm going to turn on my 750 on my helmet, and all of a sudden I have so much more visibility. I think I can find the trail. Yep, there it is. So notice with the 750 up top, I can see a whole lot more. I know this trail pretty well. I'm moving pretty decent, almost as fast as I normally would. And here's a sketchy turn. Woo! But 300, not so comfortable with. 750, oh, it's almost like daylight. The downside of the 750, it's a lot heavier. So I can feel it on my head. I can feel it push down. Whoa. Maybe I shouldn't ride like that. It's been a while since I've ridden in the dark. What I've noticed in the past is when I ride at night, as long as I keep my speeds 10, maybe 15 miles an hour, I can see the trail just great. Any faster and I have some visibility problems, but I definitely have found that I like the handlebar mount. I know others like the helmet mount because you can see where you're going a little better. You can probably see from the bumps, the handlebar mount definitely bounces a lot. And if you've noticed in my previous videos, I have some Astro deck or deck padding from a surfboard to dampen the vibrations, because I have lost my light on a night ride. But the cool thing is, it's so dark out here that when your light pops off, as long as it's turned on, it stands out. It's really easy to find. So here we go. We're back on a fire road. I mean, this is so easy to see. There's no concerns about visibility on a fire road. Again, this is a 750 lumen light on the helmet and a 300 on the handlebar. Now, it's just the 750 on the helmet. Still can see pretty well. Here comes somebody else night riding, so a pretty popular little spot. But yeah, definitely you can see at night with lights. Just don't go bombing a million miles an hour. Take it a little bit easier because you don't see as well, but you see most of the stuff that you need to see. So we're just cruising. Can't see a ton. I can see pretty well going up this trail because I'm going maybe 4 or 5 miles an hour, but 300 watt or 300 lumen light, probably not enough to see if you're out at night. 750, 700, I'd say is what I like. Look at that. Now I've turned on the 750. I'm still on the same climb. It's almost like it's daylight. I can turn off my 300 lumen light, and I'm seeing great. I don't know what you're seeing, but I'm seeing great. I can see the rocks. And this is a climb I know pretty well. I don't recommend night riding by yourself, although I'm doing it because I'm close to where I need to be. You might see a light in the distance. And I have 2 lights, so if one goes out, I'm good. But if you go out and lose a light, it turns off, battery dies, and you don't have a friend, it gets really dark out here. All right, so we're back. Oh, look at that froggy. Hello, froggy. Hopefully you guys can see it. That thing's huge. Yeah, froggy, froggy. Froggy, froggy. Froggy, froggy. Oh, he's peeing on me. Hi, froggy, froggy. Guy's pretty cool. Yeah, he definitely peed on me. Gross. Look at him. Look at that piss. Bye, froggy. All right, so we're on a fire road adjacent to some homes, so there's a little bit of extra light, but not a ton. And you can clearly see with the light, we're good to go. Some things I've noticed about my different lights is they use different mounts. So you buy a light and you're like, oh, I can switch it up. Or, oh, I grabbed the wrong light, this happens. So if you buy one and you want to buy a second, try to buy the same type so you can switch them out, or use the same type of mount and just switch your lights up. It would be really cool if they had a universal standard. Another thing is the weight. To mount it to your helmet, like I said earlier, my 750 is heavy. I can feel it on my head. If I look down, it kind of pulls my helmet down over my head. So if you're going big lights and you're thinking you're going to mount it on your helmet, think twice about it, because it's going to weigh you down. But on the handlebars, it won't matter. So here we go. Here comes a fairly advanced little narrow trail we're going down. Single track. I ride all the time, so I feel pretty comfortable at night. And I can see. Here we go. Yeah. Whew. All right, couldn't quite see that as clearly as I wanted to. So other than that, you can ride almost as fast at night as you can during the day. You get a little slower, definitely is useful. Knowing your trails is pretty good, but I remember one of my first night rides was a luge with Rock and Road Cyclery, and I felt totally confident on the luge, even though I don't ride it a ton. And now we're in the canyon, and you can see night riding's not that much different. A little spooky the first time, but get in a group of friends and it's a blast. It's an event. Plus, time change is going to mess us up, or actually by the time this is posted, it will mess you up. So all right, here we go. We're going to go down a flat, or primarily flat single track. We got the headlamp on 750. We got a handlebar at 300. I know this trail pretty well. There's some turns, some rocks, some branches, and I can't push it quite as hard as I would during the day, but I can see pretty darn well. I'm having a blast out here. I'm not going to PR myself. There is some visibility you miss, specifically in the peripheral when you're using lights. Your lights only face forward. Flashes are a little fogged up, more so than normal, but this is awesome. Way to get more time out of your day after daylight savings time. And just make sure you're prepared. Have a friend or a backup light because it's dark out here. I'm real close to some fields, so I can see their lights still in case I lose both my lights. The loner that I am on my mountain bike rides sometimes. But no one wants to hear me talk when they're riding with me. So you get to hear it while you learn. Woo. All right, so when you're buying a nightlight, or if you have one, lumens is probably the most important factor. I'd say 700 minimum, but you don't want to go crazy because you get a big one and it's super heavy and you'll lose the ability to mount it comfortably on your helmet. Heck, even a 750 lumen light bobbles my helmet just a hair. Another thing that's super important is if you're riding near dusk and you think you might go into dark, you got to bring clear lenses, because you need something to protect your eyes, especially when you can't see as well as you normally would. I mean, I see really well at night with these lights, but I still don't see quite everything. So I have those clear lenses on. One cool thing about one of the lights I have is I was able to buy a replacement mount. So I broke my original mount, and instead of having to throw out my light, I bought a replacement. And I also added a helmet mount to it when I didn't have one originally. So before you buy one, if you're really doing research if the company has replacement mounts or even extra mounts. So here we go down a rusty drum. Steep little single track. Tight. We got some branches blocking us. Tight little turn here. Not going as fast as normal, but I'm going pretty quickly through here. I know the trail, and I can see it pretty clearly. There we go, and we made it. So get 700, 750 lumens. Think about where you want to mount your light. Look at, other replacement mounts. All that stuff's come into play for me. I have 3 different lights and 3 different types of mounts. So if I grab my helmet and I grab the wrong light with the mount, I'm out of luck. So if you're going to buy more than one light, try to buy 2 of the same so you can switch them out. Weight is obviously a big factor when everything in mountain biking, but if you're putting something on your helmet, you definitely need it light enough. If you're carrying it every day, it'd be nice to have one light. So this 300 lumen light up front is super light. I think I'm just going to leave the mount on this bike and carry that light in case of emergencies. Battery life is also important, and pay attention to it on brightest mode. I don't ever find myself out of the bright mode, but maybe if you're on a long climb. But then you got to remember that you're in the dull mode before you start down, because if you're like me, once you get started down, you don't want to stop to mess with anything. So pay attention to battery life in the brightest mode. That's what you're going to use it in most of the time. So I hope you like this. I hope it's helpful. I wish someone had told me about replacement parts and about different mounts and about weight. But you learn a lot of things the hard way. You learn a lot of things on YouTube, and get out there and ride more. Mountain bike more. Ride more. Subscribe. Laugh more.
Like. Crash more. Comment.
Crash more. Comment.